Okay, so I get to kill two birds with one stone, and I like it. I love it, I love it, I love it. So let's go. To some of the people in the comments, was talking to some of them, weren't aware that Isaac is trans. He specific, or she specifically says she's trans. But anyway, continue.
A video game rant. Now, I don't play games so much anymore. I used to play them a lot. In fact, I spent most of my life in a video game of some sort. Whether it was RuneScape, MapleStory, World of Warcraft, some of the MMOs. But I played a lot of single-player games too. Elder Scrolls games and stuff. I've played hundreds of games, so I know what I'm talking about here. And I see a worrying trend. And it's a very strong trend, and I don't know where the hell it came from. But lately in video games, when you make a new character, you no longer choose male or female. Even in some of my favorite games, I'm seeing this. Favorite franchises. They're changing this. You don't see male or female. You see body type A, body type B, body type 1, body type 2. And it's clear they're male and female, but it just doesn't say that, right? And so, first off, I want to really stress how much I hate this. From a storytelling perspective, not having a world populated by males and females, but body type 1s and body type 2s is boring. It's boring. If you're actually trying to adhere to that, which you can't, game developers, story writers, you can't. But even if you could, it would be boring. So stop. Okay. Here's the thing. The thing is that the leftists and the gender folk, they all play video games as their main hobby. So of course the game companies are going to cater to them. But as a trans person, I'm asking game developers to knock it the fuck off, because you're making worse stories. Here's a for instance.
So first off, Isaac says she is trans herself. Second thing I wanted to point out is this is a major thing that I notice with a lot of transgender people. They have this fixation with male and female. This is what compels them to transition in the first place. It's the fact that they're constantly focused on male and female. And when you don't have those labels, it bothers them. Because if nothing is defined, then they cannot have their identity defined. That's what bothers them. And some people, associate with this. You will find content creators like Blair White and the Offensive Tranny who will have this type of fixation on male and female, and it's got to be male and female because that's what makes them transition in the first place. If you understand what transgender is, it's being from one to the other. It's not having labels, it's specifically having labels. The people it benefits to not have labels is not transgender people. More so, a lot of people who are born intersex and a lot of females without labels, it helps both populations of us because of the negative connotation of the female gender and the female sex and the roles that are put on us was put on by oppression mostly. So, there's that whole problem there. And then intersex people, same thing. There's a lot of oppression, there's a lot of stigma, a lot of issues going there too. So that's why for transgender people, either way, for them, they need the labels. They're the ones who are focused on labels. Now, people on individual basis are obsessed with labels sometimes. They're males that are born males who are cis males or whatever you want to call it. Regular, natural born males, natural born women, who basically are obsessed with labels and they need it to be male and female, woman and man. That's just how their brains are. It's kind of like a Matt Walsh situation. It doesn't make any logical sense, it doesn't make biological sense, but that's what they need to have. And that's why they can agree and get along so well with people who are transgender, who some people argue may have some kind of mental fixation, enough where it makes them to a point where it's affecting them mentally. Excuse me. So, yeah, That's just how I feel about that. Continue.
Play the video game Fable, one of the greatest fantasy games of all time. I'm sure some people don't like it, but you can't deny it was one of the best-selling fantasy games of all time. The original Fable for the Xbox. Play that. And try to play through it without acknowledging sex. You can't. You start off as a young boy with his sister, and the whole story revolves around your sister. The whole story revolves around you trying to save your sister, who is in need of your help. And the whole story revolves around, like, right from the get-go, right? What happens? You're a little boy, you find a girl, she's crying, what's wrong? Well, she lost her bear, the big bully boy took her bear, and you gotta go beat him up or something, and this is very sex-based, and yeah, it's stereotypical, but these are things that happen in the real world. It adds to the world. If you had a big bully crying because the little girl took...
That's the thing. Mostly transgender people live off stereotypes, roles, and also another thing that they live off of is kind of misogyny. The view of the female sex, the gender roles applied to the female sex were made originally to oppress women. It's softly, slightly lifted, but it's still there. The stereotypes were never meant to benefit women. So why should I ever accept stereotypes on myself as a female, as someone who was not born male?
The body type 1 took the, it just doesn't make sense. It doesn't, there's no cohesion. It doesn't feel real. It feels, because the Fable world, especially when it came out, felt very real. It felt alive. That's why it sold so well. Your game's going to be shit if you have body type 1s and body type 2s. So that's the first thing, okay? But now let's move into Fable 2, so the second Fable. What did that have? That had a potion, which was very hard to get in it. I'm pretty sure you only got like 1 in the whole playthrough. There might be a way to get like 2 or 3 if you know like everything about the game, but almost nobody would get more than 1. So you found this potion, and it was a potion of transmogrification. You found the potion, and you could drink it or keep it, but if you drank it, your character's sex would flip. So from male to female, or female to male. And you only got 1 chance at it. So it was permanent. And this was just a gimmicky item, but at the same time it was quite impactful. I mean, this game was made in 2008, and they had irreversible sex changes in it. Before all the gender bullshit came about, before it became political, this was just a fun thing they had in a game that you could do. And I remember having a male character and taking the potion, and I was like 13 at the time. And and the character changed to female, and I don't know. I thought that was an interesting form of expression. Like, and that's the thing. Like, as a trans person, right? And I'm calling myself that because I want to. You are alienating that experience from ever happening again. Stuff like that. I'm not saying copy that. I'm saying flesh it out.
The thing is, though, I don't think everything should revolve around you always. That's just odd. I think saying that bodies are not labeled by a specific sex, one, in the real world, you can look male and still be female, and you can look female and still be male. Or you could be in between. So, technically, when we don't put labels of gender, it, to me, is more appropriate and just going in for the biological sex. This obviously messes up people like this transgender person here. But, that's just my perspective on that. Now, I wanted to say to some of the commenters that were saying that I was making up that this person was transgender. No, this person is trans. They identify as trans. This is a video that was done 3 days ago. They have 2 other videos that they deleted that they were talking about retransitioning and taking hormones. So this person is transgender. They take hormones, and I'm sorry if I misgendered them a couple times, maybe, because I am used to calling Isaac a he, but I'm trying to work on calling Isaac a she. Excuse me. It would be really helpful if Isaac could at least change her name, so then we could actually, you know, get along with the program. I know it's not going to be an easy transition for this person because considering the platform they made was very critical of transgender people, but at the same time, this person is transgender, identifies as transgender, and I guess their platform is going to be on them being a trans woman. I mean, I don't know why some people are in denial. It's what it is. You don't like it, you don't have to stay, obviously. For the people who like it, they can stay. So I don't know. That's just weird, like why people are trying to make up like that. I made that up. I didn't make it up. She specifically says that she's trans and that she's taking hormones in the near future. So that's all I have to say. Thanks for watching, everyone. Like and subscribe, comment down below, and have a great day. Bye, guys.